everyone, welcome to another video. Remember, if you love film, gaming, or television content, please consider clicking that subscribe button because today I will be talking about a fairly recent A24 film, Aftersun. So, let's get into it. I have had an interesting journey to say the least to watch this film. It almost felt like the stars were aligning for me to not watch this movie. This film was screening at BIFF last October, and in the lead up to this film, it hadn't really come out yet before the BIFF screening, so there was virtually no information. I remember looking for a trailer online and I found a movie called Aftersun, but it was a completely different movie and it looked really boring, so I decided not to watch it. I found out after I purchased all my tickets that was a completely different movie and I am the biggest idiot on the planet. Honestly, within a day of getting these tickets, the trailer comes out, followed by a ton of critical praise, and I was just kicking myself that I missed the chance to see this pretty early. Then it finally hits the release date here in Australia, which, if you know, in Australia we get A24 movies at least 3 to 4 months after the American release date, which is what happened with Aftersun. I still couldn't see it for a long time because it just wasn't lining up well with my schedule, because I was just so busy at the time. I finally saw it in the lead up to the Oscars because I tried putting myself through the grueling task of seeing every single film that was nominated at the Oscars. I failed because that is a lot more painful of a task than you might even realize. Even if you love movies like I do, there were some films in there that were nominated that really burnt me out from watching movies, especially after seeing so many in such a short amount of time. Aftersun was the final film I saw out of the nominees, and I gave up on this task after I saw Aftersun. Now, with the way I'm sounding right now, you might think that I don't like Aftersun. That is where you're wrong, my friend, because Aftersun was amazing, and I gave up on that task because I saw it late the night before the Oscars. For US audiences here in Australia, we get the Oscars at around 10 a.m., so unless I got up early to watch some more films, I wasn't going to watch every single nominee, and there was just no way that I was going to get up early. Anyway, story time is over. Let's talk about Aftersun, a film that I honestly didn't think was going to be as good as what it was. It's so strange because this is not the type of film I usually enjoy, something that is along the lines of being a little slower and focuses on a singular relationship between a father and daughter. However, director Charlotte Wells does an excellent job of keeping you intrigued as to what is really going on here. You know that these characters are staying at a hotel, they don't have a lot of money, and that's really it. You don't know why they are in this predicament, and you don't know who our protagonist, played by Paul Mescal, is really going through mentally over the course of this film. As the story naturally unfolds, it managed to draw me in more and more, and by the time we reach the brilliant third act, it's hard not to feel a lot of the emotion this film has brought us. I think the performances were complex, and the film wouldn't have worked if Paul Mescal and Frankie Corio gave bad performances, but they don't do that. They both absolutely knocked it out of the park, and Mescal in particular was deserving of his Oscar nomination. The film definitely asks you to ponder what it's trying to do and to think about what's under the surface a little more and not just take everything at face value. And if you don't do that, I can see a lot of people being frustrated, lost, or even bored by the end. I wouldn't say it's the most complicated film, but the third act and certain flashing sequences require you to think about what it all means. Even as I was following this along, I had to sit and really think about it for a second, and after watching videos about this film, it just further solidified what I thought the film was really trying to do in those final few scenes. Because of this almost delayed effect, it kind of hits you right in the gut after it's finished, and I think that is what has made this a really special story, which goes back to what I said before about not being a huge fan of these slower movies. But because this one sunk its teeth into me and left me pondering what is said about the characters in the third act, that really gripped me, and I have to say I really, really love this film. In terms of nitpicks, I think the film doesn't get off to the best start. That slower pace, which was exacerbated for me because, as I said, I was severely burnt out from movies when I was watching this. But at the beginning, because of that slower pace, it was kind of frustrating for me personally. But as the film went along, it really rewarded me for being patient and really sinking my teeth into the story, because it is just incredible when you do that. Overall, Aftersun is a truly brilliant film, and I am so excited to see what Charlotte Wells decides to do next, because this is a very promising directorial debut that had so much heart behind this story. I'm going to give Aftersun a strong 4.5 out of 5, and it is yet another incredible film in A24's just excellent library. I cannot wait to watch this one again, and for this to break me again, because it did on that first watch. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me in the comments below what you think about Aftersun. After this, I do have some very exciting content planned. Some of the stuff to expect coming soon, hopefully within the week. I have a John Wick Chapter 4 review, extremely early Oscar predictions. I know I'm crazy, but it's always fun when it's super early like this. And as I haven't done really any gaming content in a while, I have potentially the beginning of my first ever Let's Play series on Resident Evil 4. It'll be similar to kind of old school Let's Plays that's very edited. It won't be a 1 to 2 hour long Twitch-like video. It'll be a nice little edited video, and hopefully the beginning of a series if it does really well. And that's all I've got for the week. If you're really excited for that kind of content, remember to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.